FB Live for tonight's session. Right, so for everyone's sake, for everyone's information, we did this or we scheduled this FB Live as a reading initiative of Patrocinio National High School as part of Brigada Escuela or Brigada Pagbasa 2020. It is part of the continuity plan of the Department of Education for quality education for our youth, especially in these times of pandemic. So again, I am Vincent Rayos Kailing. I will be your teacher for tonight. And I do hope that you will listen and you can also take down notes because I will be telling stories, two stories to be exact tonight. So for tonight, let's start first with unlocking of difficulties. That's what we all do. These words I have listed in the video that you can see are the words that you can found or that you can hear, that you can find and you can hear on the stories that I will be telling you tonight. So let's start with the first one, ecstatic. Ecstatic means very happy or overwhelming emotion. So if I would put it into context or if I will use it in a sentence, I would say I'm ecstatic when I received the scholarship. So it means that I am very happy or I am overwhelmed when I receive the scholarship. Okay, so I hope that you can take that into your notes and maybe you can use that into your future sentences, especially to our students who are watching tonight on our FB Live. Next, we have frail. Frail means physically weak. So that's a lot easier to understand. But if I will use frail into sentence, I would say, my grandfather is frail. So it means that my grandfather is already physically weak. Okay, so now you have another vocabulary that you can use in the future. Next, drench. Okay, this might be an unfamiliar word to most of our students and to most of our viewers tonight. Drench means to get wet thoroughly. Okay, so shall we say, I was drenched in a sudden rain. So it means that I got wet during the rain or during the sudden rain. So drench. Next, commence. For me, or maybe for the teachers, the word commence is not unusual. But we do not assume that all of the students know what commence means. So here, I included it on the unlocking of difficulties. Commence means to begin or to start. So shall we say, the program has commenced, or it means the program has started. The program has begun. That's it. The last one is sentiment. So I'm pretty sure that you might heard this word pretty much more than anyone else, or maybe you heard this word most of the time or many times now. But sentiment means an attitude, a thought, or judgment prompted by feeling. So if I will use this word into context or into sentence, I would say, or shall we say in your situation, if your friend is asking for your help, or maybe your friend is sharing his or her problem, you might be giving your sentiment or your judgment or your thoughts about the situation. All right. So I hope that those 5 words that we have unlocked tonight will be used in your future sentences. And I hope I cleared everything up. All right. So for tonight, let's go to our next part of FB Live. We have here story time. So the first story that I will be sharing tonight is entitled The Race Called Life. For this video, it has an audio. So all you have to do is to listen. And if you want, you can also take down notes because I will be asking few questions, just few questions later after the video. So we need you, or I need you to listen to the video because in reading comprehension, listening skills is prerequisite to reading skills. So it's important to listen carefully so that you will understand the content or what the story is all about. All right, so shall we start? Here is our first story for tonight.
Once upon a time, there was a young, athletic boy, hungry for success, for whom winning was everything. And success was measured just by winning. One day, the boy was preparing himself for a running competition in his small village, himself and 2 other young boys to compete. A large crowd had gathered to witness the sporting spectacle, and a wise old man, upon hearing of the little boy, had traveled far to bear witness also. The race commenced, looking like a level heat at the finishing line. But sure enough, the boy dug deep and called on his determination, strength, and power. He took the winning line and was first. The crowd was ecstatic and cheered and waved at the boy. The wise man remained still and calm, expressing no sentiment. The little boy, however, felt proud and important. A second race was called, and 2 new, young, fit challengers came forward to run with the little boy. The race was started, and sure enough, the little boy came through and finished first once again. The crowd was ecstatic again and cheered and waved at the boy. The wise man remained still and calm, again expressing no sentiment. The little boy, however, felt proud and important. Another race, pleaded the little boy. The wise old man stepped forward and presented the little boy with 2 new challengers, an elderly frail lady and a blind man. "What is this?" quizzed the little boy. "This is no race," he exclaimed. "Race," said the wise man. The race was started, and the boy was the only finisher. The other 2 challengers left standing at the starting line. The little boy was ecstatic. He raised his arms in delight. The crowd, however, were silent, showing no sentiment toward the little boy. "What has happened? Why not do the people join in my success?" he asked the wise old man. "Race again," replied the wise man. "This time, finish together, all 3 of you. Finish together," continued the wise man. The little boy thought a little, stood in the middle of the blind man and the frail old lady, and then took the 2 challengers by the hand. The race began, and the little boy walked slowly, ever so slowly, to the finishing line and crossed it. The crowd were ecstatic and cheered and waved at the boy. The wise man smiled, gently nodding his head. The little boy felt proud and important. "Old man, I understand not. Who are the crowd cheering for? Which one of us 3? asked the little boy. The wise old man looked into the little boy's eyes, placing his hands on the boy's shoulders, and replied softly, "Little boy, for this race you have won much more than in any race you have ever ran before. And for this race the crowd cheer not for any winner. You see, in life, in your life, what are you running for? Are you hungry for success? Is winning the only measurement for you in your life? Who are you running against? And if you always win against everybody, then soon the people will stop cheering for you. At the end of your life, if you look back, the question is, who was running next to you in this race? If they were weaker and old, did you help them to get across the line? Did you all finish together? Because that is the best race you can ever run. So run this race called life. But don't forget, it is not important if you win. It is important how you run this race. This is Dare to Do Motivation Stories. Thanks for watching and stay blessed.
That's it. That was our first story, and I hope that you find it inspiring. And I hope that it made you somehow reflect. Okay, now based on the video that I showed you earlier, I formulated 5 questions for us to answer. So I would not say for you to answer, for us to answer. Let's start first with number 1. What is the attitude of the boy towards the race? Okay, so what is the exact attitude of the boy towards the race? So if I were to answer that question, the boy was so eager. He always wanted to win every race that he's into. That's a good thing because that is a good spirit, right? He always thinks about himself winning, right? So there are people who have the same attitude towards race, towards contests. We always wanted to win. So that's the attitude of the boy. Number 2, how did the wise old man treated the boy? Okay, so the wise old man was just so still and calm as he was talking to the boy. And he did not give any sentiment to the boy's winning, the boy's win in the race. So while they were talking, the wise old man decided to teach the boy a lesson. So that changed everything about the viewpoint, about how the boy looked up the race. Okay, number 3. What is the message of the story? So if you are watching right now, if you are listening, what could be the best message or lesson that the story is giving us? Okay, so for me to answer, the message of the story is just life is a race. And it doesn't matter if you win or you lose. Life is not just about winning, nor it's about failing or losing. You don't count how many wins you have. You don't count how many failures you have. But what matters most is how you run the race. Or shall we say, how you live your life. Did you stand after you fall? Did you fight back when you lose? Or if you won, did you stay humble? All right, that's it. Number 4. How do you run your race called life? Okay, so it's not a literal run or it's a literal race. Shall we say life? How do you live your life? Are you happy with your life right now? Or if you're happy, are the people around you happy? So if you're living your life to the fullest and the people that are surrounding you are not happy and are not cheering you while you're on your race, then there might be something wrong. You might be living your life the wrong way. So it's for us to reflect on that message. Last question. What are you running for in life? So again, it's not the literal running, but it means, what are you living for? What are the things that make you wake up in the morning? What inspires you? What is your motivation? What is your goal that keeps you running, that keeps you living and waking up in the morning? So, uh, I'm pretty sure our answers are different because we have different set of goals, different dreams and ambitions in life. So, the bottom line of this story is that we should not think about our failures. What matters most is how we live our life and how we live our lives with the other people. Okay, so I hope you had something, you have learned something from the story. So now I will be introducing to you the next story. This story is entitled The Value of Hard Work. So I'm pretty sure that this story will also give us life lesson that would be meaningful and useful for us in the future. This time, I will be showing you a video, but I will be the one telling you the story. Is that okay? Is that all right? All right. So now this is our second story entitled The Value of Hard Work. A successful businessman was the father to a very lazy and fun-loving boy. He knew that he had to do something about it. His son would spend money carelessly and never help around the house. So his father decided to teach him a lesson. One day, he told him that, "From today onward, you will only be given meals at night. Only if you earn something through the day." The son was confused at first, in doubtful disbelief. But looking at the seriousness of his father's face, he knew he wasn't joking. The son went to his mother for sympathy and help. Feeling sorry for him, she gave him one gold coin. That night at the dinner table, the father asked the son about his earnings for the day. The son promptly showed the gold coin that his mother had given him. Seeing the gold coin, the father knew that the boy hadn't earned anything that day. He asked him to throw the golden coin into the well in the garden. Without hesitation, the boy threw the coin into the well. The next morning, the father sent his wife to her parents' house. The boy woke up and realized that his mother was not around to give him any money. So he went to his grandfather. His grandfather also felt sorry for him and gave him another gold coin. That night, when his father asked him about his earnings, he gave him the gold coin from his grandfather. His father, disappointed that he still didn't understand, told him to throw his coin into the well. Again, without hesitation, the son did what his father asked and returned to the dinner table. Later that night, the father went to visit the grandfather and told him about his plan. The grandfather understood and no longer gave the boy any money. Worried that he couldn't get any money from his grandfather or mother, The boy went to the market to search for work. He met a shopkeeper who he thought might be able to help him. The shopkeeper looked at him and said, "If you carry this heavy trunk to my home, I will pay you 3 silver coins." The boy agreed and set to work. By the time he had delivered the trunk, he was exhausted and drenched in sweat. But he felt very accomplished, having earned 3 silver coins all by himself. He raced home to show his father. He proudly presented the 3 silver coins to his father. But his father again asked him to throw the coins into the well. This time, the boy refused, almost in tears. He felt crushed. "Father, my entire body is aching, and you are asking me to throw the money I made into the well?" He said, defeated. The father smiled and said, "It feels painful when the fruits of your hard labor are wasted. Those 3 silver coins are made out of your hard work, sweat, and tears." Those 3 silver coins, when you didn't work for the coins, you threw them into the well with no hesitation. You now understand that the value of these coins is your hard work. The son realized the value of hard work and understood his mistake. "Thank you, Father. You never know how grateful I am right now, Father." Sometimes, life's best lessons come from the hardest situations. The value of hard work is not only in the reward, but also in our own sense of achievement. That's it. So I hope that the second story is even more inspiring. So I hope that it's worth reflecting upon. I hope that we have reflected from the life lessons that we might take from the story. Okay, the same as the first one, I also prepared set of questions based on the video or the story I shared you earlier. Let's start with the first one. Describe the boy's attitude in the story. It was stated that the boy was very lazy and fun-loving boy. And he keeps wasting money because he didn't realize that it was his father's fruit of labor. So then that the boy was trying to just stay calm and do not think of anything else but to waste the money. So there are people that we know who have the same attitude, but not really entirely the same, but quite the same. Okay, I'm pretty sure you are smiling at home right now. Number 2, how did he learn the value of hard work? So how did he learn? Of course, his father taught him the lesson. His father taught him the value of hard work. Number 3, how important is hard work for you? As a student, as a son or daughter, as a friend, as a colleague? I will leave this question for you to answer. Okay, so there are many ways that we can tell hard work is very important in all aspects of life. Number 4, how will you show hard work? Again, I will leave this question for you to answer and reflect upon. Well, for me, in my case, there are many ways to show hard work. And I assure you, it will pay off at the end of the day. All right. So, those are the questions I prepared for the story, and I hope that you learned things from the two videos I prepared tonight. And I hope that you took notes and reflect on those notes that you have taken down. Okay. So, this has been a very fun session, and thank you for all joining our first ever FB Live for Brigada Pagbasa 2020 of Patrocinio National High School. Right up next is one of the faculty members of Patrocinio National High School. You will witness or watch Mom Mary Grace Ladoros. She will be sharing another set of stories for you tonight. Just stay tuned. Thank you so much. This is again Vincent Kailing. Thank you for joining my FB Live tonight.